Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Is it working?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see and hear you now.
Slayness.
Yeah. So how's it going? Thanks for saying yes to coming on my show.
Yeah, of course. It's going good. How are you?
Good. So I was looking for guests, and I saw you were a musician. I thought your music was pretty good, so I thought I'd reach out. So thanks, like I said, thanks for coming on. It's great to meet you.
Of course. Great to meet you.
Before we get started, you're still really new in the music industry and everything. How about you tell me about yourself?
Well, my name is Zoe Tibbs. I am a music artist as of like 2 years. Released my first song in 2023, and now I have 5 songs that I'm working on and more upcoming. I also do acting, and I'm a model. I'm 19, and I'm from South Florida.
What was your upbringing like? Why did you get into music?
So I think that me going into music stemmed from my doing theater. I started that when I was 5 years old, and then that put me into both piano lessons and singing lessons. And then also, my dad is a producer, so he's been able to teach me some things.
Oh. What's your dad do? Like, is it his own music or what's it around?
He is working on releasing his own music. I'm also making a collab with him. And he mostly produces like other people's music though.
What's his name? Like, is he big?
I don't think he's big, but his name is Anthony Tibbs.
By that name, I was wondering, you sent me your podcast and everything, and I saw that, is it Zoe Grace or Zoe Tibbs?
It's funny. Yeah, funny question. My Instagram is Zoe Grace Show, so like people kind of know me as Zoe Grace on there, but my artist name is Zoe Tibbs. So my full name is Zoe Grace Tibbs.
Like, Grace is your middle name?
Yeah.
How come you decided to, like, is it just like persona, or like how come you decided to do that and not just stick to one name?
Well, I started my Instagram before I started doing music, and my name on that was the Zoe Grace Show before, and I really liked it. People knew it. People would recognize me as that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also with acting, you could look my name up under Zoe Tibbs and it would show stuff, but not Zoe Grace. So I decided to mainstream under Zoe Tibbs, but you can still find some things. Zoe Grace.
You said you're in college. What class do you take in there?
I'm a BFA theater performance major. So as of right now, I'm taking pretty much all theater classes and then like psychology, gen ed classes.
How come psychology?
It's good for acting.
You said you were an actor, a model, and does music. Can you tell me more about that? Like, how can you do all of that?
They are all very time consuming. However, they also kind of go hand in hand because a lot of people who are actors are also models, or a lot of people that are music artists are also actors. So when you meet people in the industry, you end up meeting people all in the industry, and that kind of helps you get along.
Mm-hmm.
But they also really coincide with each other, so that's nice. But they are all very, very big time commitments.
Have you had any big like moments and like all that? Because like you have to, including because of college and everything, it's gonna be a lot.
What do you mean?
Like, have you had any big moments? Like met any people, or like, like have you had any big moments in like all of those in all of those industries kind of combined?
Well, I kind of through my college, I met a music producer named John Gauthier, and he has, I think, 2 or 3 Grammys. He's worked with Taylor Swift on multiple occasions, and because I went to the college that I go to and people know me, our names have been able to connect, and I will now be working with him, hopefully.
Speaking of your podcast, I got a chance to look over it. I thought it's because it was just you and your friends from school. I thought it was kind of funny. So I was wondering, how come you guys decided to do that?
Well, I personally have been wanting to do a podcast for years, and I was going to start one with one of my friends from high school, but then that never worked out. So then me and my friend group, there's 5 of us total, We were just like sitting at like a Steak and Shake one day, and one of us, as a joke, said it'd be funny if we started a podcast, and everyone was like, "Actually, yeah." So we put that into motion. We got a recording room, and now we record all the time. We're working on getting more episodes up since last semester, but that's a fun thing that we got going.
What was like the main idea around it?
So we kind of talk about like everything. The podcast is called Daily Dose of Delulus because we're all like delusional. And what we do is we like get a lot of guests. We have daily questions for them. We get to know them. We play games with them. So it's just like a little fun thing that you can listen to while you're like doing other stuff.
Is it how often do you guys record together, or is it just whenever you guys have time?
We are set to record twice a week. However, in reality, we normally only record like once. Now we're kind of like flowing out of it because we have so many episodes stocked up, but twice a week.
What was the reason? Because I noticed it stops like at February this year, and then you just never did it again. What was the reason for that?
February is when a lot of stuff started like packing up with like college and stuff, and tests and all that stuff. And then over the summer we haven't been able to meet, but we have been recording podcasts as of right now. And after one meeting, then we should start releasing again.
When do you plan on, like, is there like a time, or like when do you plan on kind of like an area?
Hopefully this year.
This year? You think like the summertime, or is it just like whenever it feels right to post?
Probably this fall. So this like fall? Upcoming months, very close.
You don't have to spoil the whole thing, but like what's the idea around like the future episodes?
We bounce back and forth a lot. From what I remember from our recordings, I believe we have some Reddit stories. We have some of our own personal ridiculous stories. We have game shows. We have a lot of cool guests, a lot of actors. And yeah, it's just a fun little thing. We're pretty random.
Going back to your acting and all of this like stuff in college, when did you first like become interested in music besides growing up? Like your first song, for example, like I could tell is about like love. I'm guessing. Like, what was the idea around it?
So I started getting serious about making music when I was in summer going out of 11th grade. So about to enter senior year of high school. And I just wrote a bunch of songs that summer. And out of those, I selected my first song, Your Love, to be the first single, which released January 1st of 2023.
Like, what was the passion for it?
Well, I partially wrote it for a friend. I just wanted to tell a story, kind of. I wanted it to be something relatable that a lot of teens could relate to, because the song is about someone saying that they love you, but then they keep like just like trying to change you, and like they ghost you, and you're wondering, was this whole thing like just so that you could change me to make me your perfect version of a whatever? And so like one of the recurring lyrics in it is, did you just want to change me so I'll be enough, is one of the main lyrics in it. But yeah, it was just mostly to be like a relatable song to like kind of help people.
Now, when you say love, is it like best friend love, like, oh, you're my best friend, or like, is it like, you know, a couple? Like, what's your definition for it?
Honestly, it could be either one, any type of love.
Because like I was getting kind of both. Like I was getting, when you said like make you like mold you into your perfect idea, like it was kind of like you could put that in both directions. Like your best friend, like,
yeah,
you know, like they're toxic, but then it could also be like your girlfriend or boyfriend trying to make you, you know, like that idea. So which one do you think is your favorite? Like you made 2 songs so far.
Out of the 2, my favorite is Hyperventilate.
How come you like the first one better?
I really, really, really like Hyperventilate because it's very hyper. It's Hyperventilate. It's a fun song. It's something that I really like to just like jam to and listen to. I think it was produced better because I actually hired a producer to mix and master it versus in Your Love, I did the mix and mastering.
Going back to like the love idea around it, was it made around a hard time in your life? Can you paint that picture a little bit for me?
Well, I actually think that it was a pretty good time for me personally because what I do with songs is that it doesn't necessarily have to be about me, but as long as I can paint a precise, good picture that other people can see, that's what I want. So, me personally, I think that senior year of high school, when I was like really working on the song,
Yeah.
was one of the best years ever for me. But through that, I was still able to make a song like that.
You say it was your best year, and like you don't want to share it. I respect that, but like, what was so good about it?
Senior year is just different. You, I had a solid group of friends. I was doing this thing called Cappies and what is it called? And something for the Broward Center Performing Arts, which for both, it was basically just I was a theater critic. I was going to other schools and seeing professional shows as well and writing reviews on them for publication. So I was really, really hyper about that. I was doing shows in high school that I really liked called Play On and then Cinderella. I was vibing.
It was just a good year for you.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned a little bit of acting before, but like, what got you into like really got you passionate for acting, or is music your real passion?
Well, foremost, acting is my main thing. It would be my main job forever. I've honestly really, really always liked it since I was 5. I've done it every single year since then. I actually wasn't supposed to start that day. I was taking theater classes and my age group was supposed to start the week later, and I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed because I couldn't act, and I've never done it before and I didn't even know what it was, but I already loved it so much. So it's kind of been a day one thing for me, but the time when I got like really, really serious about it, like this is what I want my career to be, was when I was 13 years old and I was like in charge of some theater things at my school. I was really, really into like learning how everything acting works. And that year just kind of started a spark.
You obviously love it so much from the way you said it. What makes it so good? Just the way it feels?
I think that acting is extremely special. It's not like any other job ever. I really like the community that acting builds because always whenever I've done like any shows or anything, I've always been able to have like really close friends with the people that I'm working with and my castmates and the crew. I love being able to be handed a script and craft my own character out of it and make it personal. And I love being able to entertain people and make people laugh and smile and cry and feel emotions.
Have you done theater, or is it just on camera work?
I've done both. I started theater when I was 5. I started on camera work when I was 6.
What do you think you prefer?
I prefer camera work.
How so?
With that, it is a much different process. It's more real. It's more minimalized. So it's more authentic, and I really like that. When you do theater work, you work more closely with the crew. And I love working with the crew. I love working directly with the director and having multiple takes to be able to film one scene is very nice.
Do you only act for other people or act in any of your own projects?
As far as my own projects, I am currently working on some music videos that I will be acting in for 2 of my songs.
How do you picture your life after college? Like with your acting, your music, your podcast, like everything combined. Like how do you picture your life after college?
By the time I finish college, I want to be much further ahead in everything, acting, modeling, and singing. I want to have more songs out. I want to get a new modeling agency, and I want to act in at least one TV show by the time I exit college. That would like set me up.
Is there anyone you really want to work with or even just act for?
Music-wise, I really want to work with or be in a concert with Brooke Alex and Willow Smith. Not the same concert because they are totally different artists. Either or, I really want to work with them. Acting-wise, I think it would be awesome to work with Zendaya. I'm just throwing out big names because I like these people. Willow Smith.
Willow Smith, is she like,
that would be cool
is she like at the top of the list?
Yeah, she's a very big artist. Yeah.
I think I've heard of, I don't know if it's not cool to say or not, but I've never heard, but that's Whip My Hair is the only song I've heard of hers.
Yeah, she made that when she was 9.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Basically any big artist you would love to do a one-time collab with at least. And last thing before you go, is there any advice you would give to anyone? Like just any advice you would like to?
My biggest advice is it's this quote. I was asked this exact question when I was 15. I was on a news show, and they asked me this question. The quote is, "The biggest mistake is not trying." That has always been my favorite quote. For this question for years, I will always answer that quote. So my biggest advice is to always try. Even if you think that something is insane and you can't do it, I guarantee you there are enough YouTube tutorials to make sure that you can. So, yeah, just go for it. If you have a dream, set your goals, make steps, make plans to get there, and you will get there.